What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Antignarot back again for another Trove. It's another week, so that means more patch notes. Hopefully I'll be a little bit better this time, because get those shadow wings out of my... They're all windy and beautiful. Hello, TX, Ronok Fadens, and lightning flight. Anyways, so the patch notes for this week are actually very exciting. It's like a bunch of very small things that all add up to being a very big thing. Yeah, so I have my patch notes right over here. There will, of course, in a couple hours be our normal traditional Trove episode, which is going to be going up today because this patch note is something separate. Now, first of all, new in the store, because I'm just reading off the list here, Chaos Chess has been randomized, and it now has a MEOWNT. I guess it's a mount slash meow at the same time. It's a new cat mount. I've actually seen it. I took a screenshot of it earlier because somebody, Pow, I think, P-A-O, he's already got one. I don't even know where he got that. I guess from the Chaos Chest, right? So that's pretty cool. Probably, if you want a mount, and you do, probably more than one, open some chests. Okay, so maybe there's only one type. I don't know if there's two yet. Adventure mode. Shadow Giants now drop tentacles. Shadow Giants are from Shadow Arenas. Those are the big old beautiful Donkey Kong guys that just, ow, we're evil. So they drop tentacles now. I guess they're trying to make the tentacles a very rare resource. I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that because I don't know. I don't know, man. Ah! Splash! So they also increased the maximum amount of players per spawn in adventure worlds from 6 to 8. Now, that means that when you spawn in a world, and it kind of just spawns you randomly out in the wilderness, it will spawn, I guess that means 8 players around you, if you're not like the 3rd or 4th player already on that spawn, before it starts spawning 8 more people over in another random area. So that's gonna be pretty cool, hopefully. One of the things that I've noticed since these latest patches is I like the fact that you spawn in the wilderness now in the adventure mode, because it means that you get to see more than just a whole bunch of X dungeons. But at the same time, the trade-off is that you don't really get to adventure with random strangers as much. I mean, thank goodness we have Team Pixel rocking us, and we'll get into what these guys are doing in a second here. Treasure Isles now spawn layers more spread apart. So, well, I guess we can't really see it right here, but like this dungeon right here, all the dungeons were kind of spawning really close. Like some of them like right beside each other. So I guess they've kind of taken care of that where these still spawn right beside each other, as you can see, but maybe they don't spawn as close together. I don't know, honestly. I see a big old block over there that someone destroyed. We will get into that in a minute. Building, you can now craft the Cocoa Cascade block in the cube converter, and that is a generation block for chocolate that you can use in Cornerstones. That's actually a node I didn't even notice, and the club world. So that's actually awesome. TX just say he got level 20, so congrats, bro. Items. Now this is where it gets very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Adventure East Eggster boxes. Those were the boxes for the Easter. These have been swapped out for Phoenix Adventure boxes. And these are randomly dropped from just every enemy in the game. Lots of people like to think that the rarity of, like, how often you run into the boxes is dependent on the dungeon that you're in, but that's actually not true. They are across the board. Like, if you go into a novice area, you are going to have just as much chance finding one of these boxes as a drop from a normal enemy as you would in U5. In fact, if you already are maxed out level, there's one of the new mounts right there. Look, everybody's toying with it. That's like one of my new favorite mounts. Seriously, it looks beautiful. So anyway, those Phoenix mounts, I have been hunting like the earlier areas, because I find that if you don't need levels, going to a novice area is usually a bit more productive if you're fighting like just to hunt chests, because early area means that you can kill more enemies faster, which means you get more enemies killed per second, which means that you have more chance of finding these chests. Now, these chests as a whole seem to be generally a bit less common than the Eggster ones, and then the mounts even more so. So it's like a double rare now. I'm sure like everyone's just going to casually get them over time, myself included, but I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But those mounts are absolutely awesome. It looks like it's a modification of... Oh, these look so cool. So they have a True Fire Phoenix, which is a red one, and the other one we saw was the Balefire Phoenix, which I think looks a lot cooler. I think they look like they're a mod of this guy. It looks like it's a mod of this guy because it's got his kind of chicken wings too. Sorry about the frame rate too. Whenever I kind of record with dual monitors, for some reason it... Hello! For some reason it kind of ends up doing stuff like that. Diamond Zombie 183. I'm trying to record, bro. Not that he knows. So that's actually very exciting. Also, Shadow Caches now drop tentacles more frequently, so I guess they're still trying to find some balancing with that. Ships. All ships have increased acceleration and turning rate. You would think that this would be a big deal because the acceleration on ships is absolutely broken. It takes 1,000,000 years to actually get up to full speed on your ships. Ships also now have cannons as well, which you can hold, and look, there's the new... We'll get into that in a minute, but they also have these bowies that are around. Or buoys, I don't know, but they're really, really cool that they all just kind of are around and give like snipe skills. Snipe skills, yes. Very, very cool. Now, unfortunately, even though they actually ended up adding like more acceleration to the boats, I find generally, like, watch this, we'll beat him in a race just by tapping our boat, because if you get on and off your boat, I find it to be a lot faster than waiting for the acceleration, because if you're doing this, you actually, like, right now we're probably at like our max speed or close to it. I've tested with a couple like boat races and stuff like that, and this generally just opening and closing your boat is actually the way that you can get your boat to be going the fastest it can possibly. Other than that, if you're sitting and actually wasting your time waiting for the acceleration, sorry devs, but the boats are pretty useless. If you're sitting and waiting and wasting your time for the acceleration, just do this, or honestly, just use your wings, because it's faster than waiting for the acceleration. With the time that it would take to get from that dungeon to that dungeon, you still wouldn't be at your max speed on the boat anyway. So anyways, the other thing too, the bowies, by the way, don't really have anything, so I'm excited for the fact that maybe, like, hopefully the buoys or bowies or however you want to pronounce it, whatever, I don't know and I don't care. Hopefully that means that they're playtesting for water enemies that you can shoot with a cannon. I've fought some enemies in dungeons with just a cannon. It actually looks hilarious. But the cannon itself is actually very, very weak. Like, it doesn't really cause that much damage to enemies. Class note, now, they only have one here, so fixed a bug where the Neon Ninja could get a never-ending speed buff after doing a shadow flip, so we actually never ran into that one. Fishing has changed exponentially, which doesn't really matter too much to us because, I don't know, we haven't, I don't fish that much because of the amount of time that it takes. Excuse you, alien invasion. Haha! Look at this, so cool, man. So the fishing. You can now craft the candy fishing pole. We can actually go and craft that at the hub. Which, you know what? Never mind this enemy. He can go ahead and try and kill us. I honestly don't care. Let's just go show this right now. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video today, by the way, just because there's so many different patch notes for today. Now, you can actually craft this one, the candy fishing pole, which costs 5 more ancient scales, which means I'm probably never going to get it because I don't have the time to waste fishing, you know? Like, generic MMO things like that just end up wasting your time. Like, it just... I know other people are into it, but just I myself am a very busy person, so I don't really have the time. There's a streak I'm noticing of sun on my green screen back there, so hopefully that doesn't mess up the video. Anyway, you can also get chocolate fish. You need that candy rod in order to fish chocolate fish. There are also now rare enchanted fish. Never even saw any of those yet. Fishing sometimes now fishes up a completely useless old boot. Now, what people have said, I don't know, just because I didn't even know people did use bots in this game. There's the other fire phoenix mount right there, actually. It looks so awesome. So people were saying that the reason that they actually added the boat was to fix people that were botting for fishing. I didn't know people were botting in the first place. I never found the boot, but it just kind of makes sense that that would be something that they would add, because otherwise it seems completely pointless. Another thing too is uncommon fish are slightly less common. They say slightly more uncommon. Doesn't make grammatical sense to me. There are 2 new mounts craftable with ancient scales and enchanted scales. I didn't even see those. Where are those? Are those at a crafting table? I never saw that. Where's that? I want to see them. Mounts. Mounts. Whoa! They got a bouncing jellyfish, which seems like a ball mount, who cares? And an enchanted jellyfish from Enchanted Scales. Okay, so they're trying to bring in a new fish drop. I see what they're doing here. That's really cool, though. That's neat. I like that. I'm going to actually take care of this green screen problem, and then I'm going to deal with the rest of the bug fixes and polish. There we go. That's going to be a bit tedious in editing to try and get rid of that. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up. But anyway, so now bug fixes and polish. These are just minor things, but there's actually quite a few. I'm surprised. Improve the aiming display when throwing. So as you saw in our boat, the aiming display is much better. Looks really cool. Kind of looks like a golf icon now. I actually really like the way that it looks. It's too bad you can't actually see it as obviously as you could the other one, but I still really think that it looks really, really cool. Because now, especially, like, I really hope that they flesh out the boats a bit more, because they really, like, since they've added them, they really remind me of Wind Waker, and I think it would be so cool to have, like, a giant octopus boss or something like that. The other thing, too, is fixed a bug where all recipes in the collection window show 0 mastery. Never really dealt with that problem. Fixed a fishing bug where you could get stuck after reeling in. Never dealt with that, but I've never fished for hours on end. The multi-transfer prompt is now shown when dragging stacks of item into a deconstructor. So what that means is if you go to a deconstructor and you try to click and drag a group of items over here, you can't actually deconstruct these chests anyway. But if we would drag them over here, it would prompt us, how many do you want to deconstruct? And you can tell it how many rather than just holding control click and stuff. It's just a little touch there. The consecutive days logged in and max consecutive days logged in stats should work now. I guess they didn't work in the first place. I think you just do that by typing in /stats. Yep, that's it right there, actually. Max consecutive days logged in too. Oh, does that? Oh, I don't know what that means. Anyways, fixed a bug where fishing lures cast into the abyss in Radiant Ruins weren't refunded. Fixed a bug where you got no fish when fishing with your last lure. New video effects for the Shadowhunters Relic of the Past and Deadshot costumes. I didn't even know. Do they actually have the Relic of the Past costume available publicly? Nope, they don't. Oh, they do. It's right there. Okay, it was there the whole time. I didn't even know. I thought it was like some fancy suit, like the Elysian Knight or something like that. But turns out it's just a brown suit. But anyway, I don't know what that is. Weirdness. Then they got Treasure Isle styles now drop in the Treasure Isle zones and can be unlocked by a style surprise. That actually makes a lot more sense to me because I was really starting to see a lot more styles that we unlocked in our deconstructor. So I didn't know that there was actually Treasure Isle styles finally. So that's really cool. Dev content, new Treasure Isle dungeon from Grump and Tug. Is that it? Is that? Yeah, that's a dev. Yeah. Okay, so they pretty much meaning that they added a new big 3-star dungeon to the Treasure Islands. They actually are not even... I don't know why they say they only added one, because they actually added 2. There is one that is a giant galleon ship, which is absolutely beautiful, and I know Lord Sithis would love it if he already probably saw it by now. Then there's another one, which is actually one of my favorite dungeons I've ever seen, and all I can say about it is it's like Ewok Village 9000. Like, it's like on a tropical island, and it's like an Ewok Village. That's all I can really say about it. And then there's just a bunch of community content showing, like, other dungeons submitted by other players and stuff like that. But otherwise, that's it. We actually went way over time for today's patch notes, ladies and gentlemen, but of course there were a bit more patches. So to end the video, let's see if we could get one of the Phoenix mounts out of these 6 chests. Nope, nothing at all. So hopefully I'll get more lucky throughout the week. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I would also appreciate if you would smack that like button, share, favorite, and subscribe to join Team Pixel. In a couple hours, our normal Trove episode is going to come out. I am the Captain Hot Dog. Sign on. Stay epic, everybody. Believe in yourself.